Johanna Duggar Forsyth endured super hard postpartum as family was falling apart. When the mother of three spoke on the Unplanned podcast, she talked about how super hard it was to deal with her hormones altering. Johanna Duggar Forsyth is still angry when she thinks back on the challenges she has encountered in recent years. The couple's third child, Gunnar, was born in May 2023. The former 19 kids and counting star talked about how she and her husband, Austin Forsyth, handled challenging family situations during her postpartum time. On May 25, 2022, her oldest brother, Josh Duggar, was sentenced to 13 years in jail for possessing and obtaining data pertaining to child sexual assault. He harmed multiple young girls while they were minors, including the disgraced reality star Jill Duggar Dillard and her sisters Jessa Duggar Seewald. On April 29, 2021, he was arrested. In September 2023, Jill's narrative was published in her memoir, Counting the Cost. In January of last year, sister Jinger Duggar Vuolo published her book, Becoming Free Indeed, My Story of Disentangling Faith from Fear. With Gunnar, I had a super hard postpartum, Johanna remarked sadly in her podcast episode. It seemed to be the darkest moment of my life. In any event, it was a great, if difficult, experience. The hormone shift makes me feel as though I've experienced this before. The mother of three described the hormonal changes as super hard and added, I felt like my family was just falling apart. She also acknowledged her enormous difficulty with them. At her brother's anger, sister Jill Duggar Dillard vents her own rage. Joshua Duggar claims that can be a good thing, limited edition. She said, it was really hard for just my parents, siblings, and ourselves during that time, as she sobbed. I got to the point where I just couldn't understand anything as real. What should I think? You like this? Johanna experienced a rebellion phase in her life at one point when she began to question her religious beliefs. She claims, I was like, okay, what am I going to believe for myself? But I feel like it was good, and I can see now looking back how much God grew me in that season. As she read Jinger's book, she began to consider her own spirituality and mentioned how the Duggar family grew up with so many standards. Her parents never preached that she needed to abide by these laws to be approved by God, according to Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar. When she said, but I took it personally in that way, she explained that her entire life as a Christian had been a checklist. All right, I must read my Bible. I have to pray, just to be sure. As a result, after having baby, I feel like everything fell apart. When these books were published, my family was going through a difficult period, and I was already facing many challenges. The world is familiar with Johanna Duggar Forsyth, a member of the notorious Duggar family. Johanna's journey has been chronicled at every stage, from her upbringing in the spotlight as a cast member of the TLC reality series 19 Kids and Counting to her own family life with her husband, Austin Forsyth, and their kids. Johanna said in multiple interviews and an open social media post that her postpartum experience was not at all what she had anticipated. She acknowledged the difficulties that many women encounter but frequently feel unwilling to discuss candidly, admitting that it was super hard. In addition to the physical strain of recuperation and taking care of a newborn, Johanna experienced mental hardship during this time, especially since her family was dealing with its own set of difficulties. She courageously faced the stormy period that resulted from these events, and many of her admirers suddenly saw a hitherto unobserved side of Johanna, an emotional roller coaster. Johanna's experience after giving birth, the disorder known as postpartum depression (PPD), is prevalent among new mothers. Sadness, fatigue, worry, and a generalized feeling of being overpowered are its hallmarks. A personal family difficulty added to these feelings, making it more difficult for Johanna to adapt to parenthood as she had intended. Even though she didn't state that she had been given a PPD diagnosis, her candor regarding her struggles adjusting to parenthood implies that she experienced many of the symptoms of the disorder. The physical recuperation was one of the most challenging parts of Johanna's postpartum experience. Although Evelyn's birth went more smoothly, it nonetheless had its own set of difficulties because she had experienced a terrible birth with her first child, Gideon. She openly discussed how it had been hard for her to feel like herself again due to the physical strain of childbirth. She felt psychologically and physically exhausted due to the tremendous duties of caring for a newborn, as well as the exhaustion and discomfort. Johanna, however, had difficulties with more than just the physical aspects of postpartum. Raising two small children and attempting to keep her personal life in balance had a toll on her emotions and mind. In addition, the family was dealing with conflicts that Johanna called heartbreaking while they dealt with their personal issues. Johanna's choice to take a step back and consider what was going on behind the scenes in her life was courageous, even though these personal struggles were not immediately described. As a result, she was able to establish stronger bonds with her admirers, who were equally empathetic and supportive of her struggles. Family conflicts in an already difficult period. Johanna's family was going through a period of intense emotional upheaval when Evelyn was born. An already challenging time in her life became much more complex as a result of this tragedy. Managing family dynamics may be difficult even in the best of circumstances, but it can become even more difficult when a new child is added. Johanna's choice to disclose these private difficulties demonstrated the strength she felt to handle persistent family problems in addition to being a good mother. The Duggar family's public problems, such as the scandals surrounding her brother Josh Duggar, were a significant part of the larger background, even if she did not go into great depth about the specifics of the family struggles. Johanna's followers continued to support her during this emotionally complex moment in her life, but it's obvious that juggling her family's upheaval and postpartum recuperation was a very tough task for her. In her posts, she acknowledged that there were times when she felt totally overburdened and unsure of how to manage everything that was going on in her home and in the family as a whole. Postpartum recovery is already a lonely process for many moms, and it gets even more lonely when family issues and outside demands are added. Fans can understand that even people who appear to have it all together frequently struggle greatly behind the scenes because to Johanna's openness about her emotional issues. Since many in her audience can identify with the difficulties she encountered, her bravery in sharing this aspect of her life has forged a bond with them. Assistance from the husband Forsyth. Austin. The assistance of Johanna's husband, Austin Forsyth, was crucial in getting her through this trying time. She was careful to emphasize how crucial Austin's presence and steadfast support were to her postpartum recuperation. She said, "I don't know what I would have done without him," explaining how he filled in to help with the children, look after the house, and provide emotional support when things got too difficult. The fact that Austin helped her get through this trying time shows how strong their relationship is. Having a trustworthy spouse was essential for Johanna. The stress and fatigue that can come with becoming a mother can put a strain on relationships for many new mothers during the postpartum phase. However, it appears that this shared experience has strengthened Johanna and Austin's bond as a pair. Their capacity to help each other through such a trying moment shows how strong their bond is and how much they care about each other's welfare. Rebuilding following the difficulties. Johanna's fortitude. Johanna has had the opportunity to consider the lesson she has learned and the strength she has acquired in the months after Evelyn was born. She has publicly expressed her appreciation for the help she has had in her fresh emphasis on taking care of herself, her family, and overcoming a difficult period. Johanna's openness about her difficulties serves as a reminder to other women and new mothers that it's acceptable to not be perfect. Asking for assistance, relying on loved ones, and taking time to recover are all acceptable. The significance of mental health and the necessity of putting one's own well-being first, despite the pressures of motherhood and family life, are among the most important lessons to be learned from Johanna's postpartum experience. Even though Johanna's experience was particularly difficult, it should serve as a reminder to all mothers that effective postpartum care requires self-care, honest communication, and emotional support. Promoting discussions regarding postpartum health. Johanna's candor about her difficulties might also contribute to the normalization of discussions regarding postpartum health, a subject that is frequently not enough acknowledged. Because Johanna is willing to show her imperfections, other women can feel validated in their own experiences, which is important in a society that often demands new mothers to bounce back quickly and maintain an image of perfection. She is trying to build a more understanding and encouraging community for women worldwide by opening up and supporting the larger push to destigmatize the challenges many mothers have after giving birth. Even though her experience was difficult, many people can identify with it, and her openness to talk about it is promoting a more sympathetic conversation about postpartum difficulties. In conclusion, Johanna Duggar Forsyth's experience with postpartum recuperation, family challenges, and emotional upheaval serves as a potent reminder that parenthood is not always simple and that it's acceptable to not be perfect. Johanna is making people who might be experiencing similar things feel less alone and more understood by sharing her personal struggles. Her openness has facilitated a much-needed discussion about the difficulties of postpartum health and recovery, in addition to enabling her fans to relate to her on a deeper level. Johannah's perseverance and the encouragement of her devoted family will surely encourage others to confront their own obstacles head-on as she moves forward.